So if you guys don't know, the T app just got hacked today. 72,000 images, driver's licenses, personal information, verification photos was leaked to the internet, which brings the big question up of why does this app exist? For those of you who don't know, the T app is a dating app specifically designed for women to help them date safe, as they say. I'll read the description. Are we dating the same guy? Ask an anonymous community of women to make sure your date is safe, not a catfish, and not in a relationship. Users can access a nationwide forum of posts and can set alerts for a man's name so you never miss any tea about your potential date, ex, or partner, and so you can make sure they are not a cheater. Users can anonymously ask for dating and relationship advice to find support and empowerment from our community of verified women. So whether you're planning a coffee meetup or something more serious, T gives you the confidence to move forward with your date. That's how the T group identifies themselves. And if we're reading reviews, let's read one of the reviews. The streets is talking. Okay, so boom. I tried the T app and I love the idea of it. It's basically Yelp for exes. You get to see what people say about the person you're thinking about matching with and listen. That's a game changer for the girls who are done wasting time on smooth talking liabilities. What's it giving? Real feedback from real people. Like, why wasn't this around during my toxic era? It's messy, but informative. Perfect balance of girl, don't do it, and he might actually be solid. But to take it over the top, video post receipts like a 1 minute clip max. Imagine being able to watch a little 60-second clip of the culprit in action. So she's talking about all they need to do is add 60-second clips of the person. So I'm assuming they're videoing them without their consent. Not the greatest idea. Probably why it's not part of the app, because that would be illegal in a lot of states. Whew, receipts. The tea would be piping hot and way easier to trust than just words on a screen. Even she knows these words on a screen are a little sketchy. Downsides. Not enough users in some cities, so it's a little dry if you're not in a popping area. Some folks clearly not over it and just venting, but that's the part of the fun if we're being honest. So she's admitting people are just, kind of just venting about their exes. Super useful information. But this is the it app, and it's up and stuck, period. It's a solid app if you're tired of dating blind. Why do we have an app that's allowing people to personally rate each other and make a social credit score? I view this as an invasion of privacy. It's the same thing if I made an app that was like, wife verifier app. Before you put a ring on it, make sure she's the right one for you. So Wife Finder will allow other men who have dated her to rate her, so that way if she has some hidden traits you're not aware of, they can make you aware of it. We're also going to run credit reports on her. We're going to make sure she doesn't have any student loans you don't know about, credit card debt, because you don't want to marry a financial burden. We're also going to check her criminal history to make sure she doesn't have domestic violence, right? You don't want a woman tearing up your stuff in the middle of the night. This is all just for security, because you want to feel safe before you make that investment of marriage. I mean, it just seems crazy. If you've been dating somebody or you starting to date them, you are learning about them. There shouldn't be I'm going to say it again, I'm going to say it a lot, some sort of social credit score you're judging people based off of. If you're worried about someone's criminal history, just look them up online. If you have their full name, you should be able to figure out who they are. If you're worried that they're lying about their name, just ask to see their driver's license. If they're hiding that from you, boom, red flag, done. This is not a new concept, what the T app is doing. There's been similar groups, Facebook groups, called Are We Dating the Same Guy? And it's essentially the T app, and it is just T. It's messy. People are posting about their exes all the time. It's really just a way for people to slander, mostly. There are some people who will go to bat for some of the guys, but it still seems very strange to me that if I make a dating profile, I make that with the assumption that there's going to be a certain level of privacy for me in that profile. My profile will only be shown to other eligible people. It's not going to be copy pasted into a broader database that people can look up, right? Same thing that the T people felt. When I'm giving my verification license ID, I don't want this posted everywhere on the internet, right? This is just supposed to be between you and me to allow me to get access to this app. Or in the course of dating, like I don't ideally want my dating app posted everywhere. Me personally, I already assume that's going to happen, right? The internet is becoming less and less secure with privacy. And usually it's the users who are fighting against this, the people. The companies are usually the ones that want to post our information everywhere. But it seems like people are becoming more and more comfortable with the idea of peeping into people's lives, which I'm not a massive fan of. And I don't think anybody should want to do this. The excuses are always the same for exposing or publishing or doxing more of people's private information. It's always security, right? These women want to do it because they need more security. What if there's a bad guy out there abusing women? Isn't it good to share that? The government's stance is exactly. That's why I want to know everything about your email, all your personal communications. Ideally, every text message you send to someone. I want to record all your phone calls. What happens if you're planning a terrorist attack? If you don't have anything to hide, what are you worried about? I mean, someone could take that information, impersonate you, use it to make AI images of you without your consent. There's a lot of things that can go wrong when people have all of your personal information. If they have your best interests in mind, sure, it's fine. But what happens if they don't have your best interests in mind? That's why we value our privacy. When it comes to this T app, let's be honest, who is going to be using this? It's obviously supposed to be only women, so we would assume that. And it's going to be women judging guys who they're dating. Who is going to be reviewing guys who they dated before? Only exes. Unless they're an acquaintance and one of your acquaintances happens to show up, I guess you could defend them anonymously. But most of the time, it's going to be people who are actively dating. Why would you be on this app if you're not actively dating? It doesn't seem like you would have any incentive to get it unless you just wanted to browse the tea, which I do know some girls do. So imagine if you were judged only by your exes and this was your public score available to new people who you wanted to date. I think we can all see how this would be a problem. The problem is everybody views you differently. Let's just use me as an example. My friends would probably say I'm a good guy, fun to be around. But if you ask someone who I just cut off in traffic, he's going to say I'm a terrible person. Or let's go talk to my exes. They're probably not going to have great things to say about me. They might say he was okay, but they're going to focus on the bad things because obviously our relationship didn't work out. So these T apps are really have a massive negative bias to them because it's just going to be your exes reviewing you. Just like I said, if I made like a wife, like this is the wifey app. Before you wife a girl up, we got to run some background checks on her. We got to get a social score. We're going to try and find anybody who's dated her before so that way they can put their input in. Because, I mean, come on, man. This is a big commitment, dude. You don't want to get taken for all your money. You don't want to waste your time putting a ring on it unless you know it's good. Like, how about you just go out, meet the person, and see what they're like? Also, maybe people have changed. What happens if your ex rated you 5 years ago? Thank goodness this app's new, so that shouldn't be happening. And then now you're a different person. And like I said, if it's safety, if you're worried about dating someone because of safety, probably just don't talk to that person. And if you're so scared about meeting anybody new for your safety, you should just stay inside. Okay, you shouldn't make friends with anybody. Anybody. Because, by the way, if you're worried about being assaulted or something, it's not just people who you're dating. Funny enough, your friends can assault you as well. I don't know if you notice, your friends can rob from you as well. So why should this only be for dating? We should extend it for everybody. We should have a social credit score. That is kind of the logic that this T app, I feel like, is going down. And I feel like, unfortunately, the actual people, not the companies, the actual people are asking for it more and more. And it's a trend that I see that seems a little scary. We're slowly working our way towards that Chinese social credit score. I'm sorry, I just had to make a short video. I saw the leaks, and the only thing I could think is, man, we are just moving closer and closer to everybody spying on us. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. If you think it's a good or bad thing, and like, what do you think about like people rating other people to make scores on them as a person? That just feels really weird to me. But either way, short video. Let me know what you think in the comments. It's a crazy situation.